Good evening, my friends. Today, check out Isaiah 32. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but this chapter is pretty awesome. But I just love this context where you know the prophecy I believe is for maybe even the times that we could be entering into. But I'm sure it's dual prophetic, especially for Israel, for the times that they were in back then. But I believe we'll be seeing times like this again. Beat your breasts for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, for the soil of my people growing up in thorns and briers. Yes, for all the joyous houses in the exultant city. For the palace is forsaken, the populous city deserted. The hill and the watchtower will become dens forever, a joy of wild donkeys, a pasture of flocks, until the Spirit is poured upon us from on high, and the wilderness becomes a fruitful field, and the fruitful field is deemed a forest. And it starts out with a warning, to complacent women, and but this passage is just a beautiful picture of the destruction and the judgment that comes, but at the same time ushering in this movement of God to pour out His Spirit and bring mercy and justice. And it's like we always have this kind of uh, tension going on, right? Like even think about when the Spirit was poured out in the Book of Acts, right? Uh, that was during times when things were not good. Okay, um, things were not good for the early church. People were being persecuted. James was killed. All the apostles were being imprisoned, and things were not good. And even for Israel, Israel ended up being destroyed, and it was just a bad time to be living in. And I think that, I mean, if you look at the TV right now, really just even over New Year's Eve, all these people killed down in New Orleans, mass shooting here, mass shooting there. I mean, dude, are you paying attention? Wars, rumors of wars. It's definitely um, messed up times, especially in America, because in America, whatever we are, it, you know, I don't know what our destiny is as a nation. I probably will just be like Rome. We'll probably just get out of the way pretty soon here. But America's in a lot of trouble, very divisive. But we have this hope that no matter what we see happening in the world, like no matter what's going on, no matter if we're watching kingdoms be destroyed and things burning around us, like our hope is in the promise of restoration through the Spirit of God. And either that can happen in our lifetime, like in our lifetime here on earth in a physical body, or we might just have that fulfilled when we pass on from life to death, which is actually the fullness of our lives. But either way, the Spirit of God, either here or there, is bringing a fulfillment of these words to us. That when the Spirit of God is poured from on high, the wilderness becomes a fruitful field, and the fruitful field is deemed a forest. Like the wilderness will have justice reigning, and righteousness will abide in the fruitful field, and the effect of righteousness will be peace, and the result of righteousness, quietness and trust forever. My people will abide in a peaceful habitation, in secure dwellings, and in quiet resting places. So to me, this, no matter what, even if God does something substantial for us in this life, it still is only temporary, because we still have to die, unless it's the Lord returning and we reign on this earth for 1,000 years. And but no matter what happens in this life, it's temporary. Even if God answers all your prayers, it's still is temporary, affliction is inevitable, tribulation is inevitable in this life. And we'll always be waiting for the Spirit of God to bring us into this endless peace. The effect of righteousness would be peace and quietness and trust forever. Where we can have that forever. Like no more pain, no more wrestling with the darkness. In this life, we can have joy through believing that this is going to happen and this is our end, but we still have to suffer in the meantime. So I just wanted to share that today, that our hope is in the Spirit of God being poured upon us, not just now, but always, but whenever we see the fullness of that, it's going to be an amazing thing. So think about that today. Be encouraged. This life is temporary. Everything is temporary. Our hope is in God's exceeding great and precious promises, which are beyond this life, even if we receive some things now. Amen.